Hi, this is Deep Tran,
I'm Jose Solis.
and we're your token theater friends, people who love theater so much. But I don't know about you, Jose. I would not risk my life to go see Godspell.
Definitely not Godspell. I mean, I would consider risking my life for like J Lo or like Madonna or like Kylie, maybe Audra, maybe Kelly. No, I wouldn't risk my life for it. No, I wouldn't. No, definitely not Godspell
Oh,
though.
shoot. Don't tell Kelly O'Hara, your fave, that you would not risk getting COVID to go see her. Oh my God, what kind of fanboy are you?
Well, definitely not that big a fanboy. Like I know my life. I mean, so if I would tell her that if I want to keep seeing her work, I don't want to die this one time, so I can see her throughout her entire career. Because I need to see her in the Hours opera.
Oh, your favorite movie. And it's like, it's so weird. Is she going through Julianne Moore's entire catalog? Do
She
you
should.
think she's gonna do The Hand That Rocked the Cradle, the musical?
I mean, that's like very early Julianne, and I do not want to see Kelly O'Hara die because like the Rebecca De Mornay kills her with like all the glass things in the glass house. So definitely not. But I cannot wait to see Kelly O'Hara in a Magnolia musical, and maybe at the end of the Affair opera, and maybe I mean who knows? I have plans for you, Kelly. Call me.
It's like, we'll make something happen during quarantine. We'll do a Zoom reading. Who are we talking to today, Jose?
Today we're going to be talking to Harriett D. who is an actor in Finish the Fight, a play that one of our faves, Ming Peiffer, who we interviewed, so go check out that episode, wrote to commemorate the 100th anniversary of women's right to vote in the United States. It is so insane that women weren't allowed to vote, but that's another podcast, so we're not going to go into that.
Yeah. And you can also see Harriet right now in P Valley on Stars, written by our other theater favorite, Katori Hall. See, it all comes back.
We're excited to be talking to her about this new project. So let's go to Harriet. I am so excited to have Harriet D. Foy joining us today. I love you so much, and I'm sorry that I'm gonna like fanboy all over you, but like every time I've seen you, and then I was like, like going through your credits, I was like, I have seen you so many times, and you blow my mind every time. I was watching P Valley, and I didn't know you were in it, and then I saw you, and I even screenshot it. I was like, she's in this. So anyway, sorry about that. Welcome, and
Thank you. I love all of that. I receive all of that good energy. Thank you.
thank you for joining us. You are going to be in Finish the Fight, which is a play
Yes.
that Ming Pfeiffer wrote about. I was like mind blown to think that a century ago women couldn't vote, and right now that voting rights are in so much danger. Like, can you talk to us a little bit about why you wanted to be part of this?
Well, for me, it's exactly like what you're saying. It's like it was like a history lesson. Like we used to back in school get like a bit during Black History Month, like of what was going on. And I was when I started looking up Dr. Mary McLeod Bethune, I was like, wow, I didn't know she did all of that. You get one little snippet, and then I thought, well, how important is that we're still fighting for some of these same things that 100 years ago we couldn't even do it, and yet Black women were still at the back, and women of color. So I was like, man, I have to do this piece, just like it's because it's a history lesson for people now that they need to know, like the younger generation and some of the older generation.
Yeah, and I, be- because the thing about like women's suffrage is, and it's kind of like, the women's liberation movement in the 60s, like
Right.
women of color were part of it, but you never see it in any popular media. Most of the time it's centered on white women.
Exactly. And if I think too, maybe if you're not like the pretty one or the favorite, then you weren't in the forefront like some of these women who were like major badasses, like the activism that they did. I was like, are you kidding me? I had no idea. Like every page, like when we had like our read through together, I was like, who is this lady and why don't I know her? So I felt bad. So I had to go do some more research. You know what I mean? Like, how do we not know this? So that's why I'm glad this piece is out and that the New York Times has commissioned it, and directed by Whitney White, one of my favorite directors. And it's an amazing cast. So yes, I'm sorry, I'm taking up all the time. Just
Oh
talking.
no, You're supposed to. If we're
I'm a
talking too
talker.
much, yeah, if we're talking too much, then we're not doing our jobs right. But I mean, what's it been like rehearsing something remotely, especially rehearsing a new play remotely? Because we've seen a lot of classics being done, but this is a all new piece.
Well, here's the thing. So I've done a couple of readings, so I kind of had a vibe for it, and they sent the New York Times sent the equipment. So there I'm trying to unfold the background. It comes out. I took over my mom's basement. I was in Maryland for like literally 7 months just because of the corona and everything. So I do it. I set up the lights, and I'm all ready to go by the time they come on. So my computer's set up with the Zoom room. They're in the Zoom room, and I'm literally doing like the lights, like what you would have your crew do. I was like, yes. Oh, so that's what they're doing when we're standing there and they're trying to get the right light on you and everything. It was really cool, and I felt actually more free in that way, just to create and do it. And we would try to do it off book, so some of the lines I had up, because it was a lot of material in a short amount of time, but then I just turned on my how you have to audition for film mind, and it's like boom boom boom. It was fun. I did my little marks. I had a good time. Of course, there's nothing like being in live theater and getting that immediate response, but I think this will last a lifetime, and you can always go back to it, and use it in school, like as a tool to teach.
Did you ever think you were going to be doing a new play in the midst of a pandemic?
I did not. So when it came about, I was like, wait, we're going to do what? How's this going to work? Like, okay, I'm down. Let's see if it works. And it did. I think it's going to be a really great experience. I think people will be amazed at the look of the piece. And just editing is key in this, which I want to learn more about. And it just made me want to learn more about this medium, because it seems like that's what we're going to be using for some time. So, yeah, and I think you can focus more on these women who were the unsung heroes. I think you can focus more on their stories. Do you know what I mean? Because you're going to be up close and personal.
Yeah. And one of the things I've been really loving about this time, I mean, we can't gather in a room, but people are putting things up so quickly. I'm sure the New York Times thing, I'm sure you took like a week or two to do that entire thing. And you've done new plays. You did The House That Will Not Stand, On the Levee, and those things take years and years to do. And so has this been refreshing to just, wham, bam, we're done?
It was, and a little unnerving at the same time too. I'm open to every experience now, but there is something to taking that time, like we did with The House That Will Not Stand by my bestie Marcus Gardley, who wrote that part for me, Makita. Yes, because we worked on that. We did it at Yale, we did it at the Theater Lab and Berkeley Rep. So it was like at least 5 years, maybe, pulling that to bring it to New York. Was it 5? Yes, like 20. And even before that, we worked at New Dramatists, so when we were just doing it as a reading. So it took a minute. But yeah, that was a good piece. Oh, child, I forgot the question because I was talking. I have 5 thoughts because I'm a Virgo, Gemini rising. So the Virgo was real like, here. And then the Gemini was like, bam, 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 da, 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 da. Stay on point, Harriet.
What's your horoscope telling you right now?
Miss Thing, focus. Listen. Honey, child, this is like my second interview since we've been doing P-Valley and for Finish the Fight. This is my first one, Finish the Fight. So, and then I didn't know it was on camera. I was like, oh, I got to put a bead on, put some gel in my hair. I thought we was just going to be talking.
Oh, you look gorgeous. Like, I want to know what you've been doing with your skin during quarantine. It's just so glowy and dewy.
I'm going to let you in on a secret, girl. Rose water glycerin is key, and you have to wear sunscreen. I know people don't want to, but you have to do it every day. And you have to take off your makeup at night. Moisturize, 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 as Wendy Williams says, honey. Ba-da-da, because I'm 80.
Oh my God. And then you probably smell wonderful because of the rose water all day long, right?
Listen, just a little vanilla mist, just a da-da-da.
Oh my God. If you launch like a fragrance line, I'm buying everything, okay?
Oh, thank you. Yeah, I love those earthy scents that make you feel real sexy. You're just like, what are you wearing? And you're just like, Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we need to be best friends at some point, by the way.
Yes. Wait, what are y'all signs?
I'm
Aries.
Yeah, I'm a Taurus with a Taurus rising. So.
Ooh, okay.
Double
Your house.
earthy.
Your
But
house must be really nice.
Uh, Now it's nicer than ever because I have time to buy plants, water the plants, decorate.
We just talked about those plants. We just talked, didn't we?
she knows that I have the worst green thumb, so
You're changing that energy. You're
right, right,
going to
right.
have new green thumb energy. Change that. Yes. In fact, you should do, smudge a little bit and just change that whole energy and get you a new plant. Start with maybe what's the one, the aloe vera plant. You can't go wrong with aloe vera.
Oh
Yeah, I've been
wow.
telling him to get a pothos because you cannot kill those.
Or a
Well,
snake plant.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Very little watering. Just put them in a spot and just give it love.
and I have new energy thanks to you, so I'll remember that. I want to talk about that moment in the house I will not stand. That's like you know which moment. The moment's like electrifying. And after watching you on stage, I wondered, and now knowing that you did this part for 5 years, how do you do something like that every night, and how do you then cleanse and like release yourself from a character like that?
That's a great question. Thank you. Um, so, okay, when we were doing it at New Dramatist, that particular monologue wasn't in there. So we came to the rehearsal. I think Patricia McGregor was our director at the time, and Marcus came in. He says, "Oh, I have some new pages." He says, he always calls me Diva. Diva, I got something for you. And I was like, "What?" So he gave it to me. It was like 5 pages because it was a 5-page monologue, and I was like, "Okay," and I read it. And it was like I connected immediately with the words. I had never looked at it, and people thought I had looked at it the night before. And it was because it was our history. It was like every ancestor spoke to me, and I connected to it in such, like a grounding way. It was like I was in the pocket, and it just came. The rhythms that you heard, that's how I spoke it, because I could hear the drums and all that. What would happen, because we were at New Theater Workshop, and it was a great cast. It's like literally I would be exhausted after the show, and Jonice, who played Odessa is in the Amen Corner. I just played her. We would walk home after the show from New York Theater Workshop, and I live in Midtown and she lives in Jersey, but I needed that time to decompress, and I didn't want to be like enclosed on a bus or enclosed on the train. And we would just walk and gradually release it, because you do have to release it, because it was such an emotional journey, playing Makita, from beginning to end, being enslaved and then getting that freedom and then trying to take care of this whole house. But yeah, that's you. I would warm up, get to the theater early and warm up. Always say a prayer before I start each show, and I always celebrate one of my ancestors as if I imagine that they watch me every night. So I call a name, particularly before I start a show, and say, "This one's for you tonight."
Hmm.
What can you tell us about the movie version?
I can't say anything. I just don't know anything. I know it's going to be good. It's going to be good. I know that. I don't know who I'll be, but I hope to be in it. But, because things change in film,
Yeah, no one else can play your part. Like, it's yours.
Thank you. I received that. Thank you. I did try to put my foot all the way in it, so you would always remember Harriett D. Foy as Makita. Yeah, we're Makita and I are one. I would find that when I was doing other pieces, that particular monologue, phrases, words would come to me, and I'm like, "Girl, you trying to play Nina Simone? How are you talking to Makita?" Because she would just come to me. So I was like, "Okay, what's happening now? I need to connect in some way with ancestors, with history or something." So yeah, she's always around. I want to do it again. I want to play her again. Because there's so many layers when you come back to a part, like coming back to it after we had done it and we were away from it. It was just a whole nother level for me, and the connection and the way that we were allowed to play, and then the cast and how we reacted and, with each other. It was powerful. And especially, I think Blackout Night, it was all I could do not to cry the whole time, because just the way everyone was so supportive that night. It's nothing like it. You can't describe it. It's nothing like it.
Is it like slipping into like your favorite pair of jeans when you get to play her again?
Oh, right. Literally like putting on her clothes, even though it was a different outfit and a different, costume, different hair, but she was still the same. Her energy, it was fun. I was more relaxed. And before we actually had, oh Lord, what was his name on the table? The father. we actually had an actor playing that part. But this time Marcus is like, no, I want him to embody you and you become Lazar. Woo, he came back to me. He's like, Lazar, girl. And I was like, okay, is this going to work? Are people going to, because at first I was a little nervous about it. I was like, how is this going to work? But once I let go and just did it, it was like, there he was, you know?
So I was looking through like what you've done, and I've noticed that it's a really almost even split between period pieces, like The House That Will Not Stand was period, versus like modern, like P-Valley. And like, what as an actor, like what's like your favorite kind of genre to do, and what's like the different preparations you have to do in order to
Well, here's the thing. I love doing comedy. I'm really a clown, but I don't get to do as much as I would like to. Like, I love pratfalls. I love anything like that. So I think Mamma Mia was that as close as I could get to doing like a good comedy when I did that on Broadway and played Rosie. That was one of my favorites. Yeah, I would love to do more of that. What's the piece where they're all running around it was on Broadway a few years back? Noise is Off.
Oh,
like Noise is Off. Amelie was lovely, yeah. Like Noise is Off, that kind of crazy, you know, when you walk into doors, stuff is crazy, you do it over like 5 times. Oh, no, the one where the whole set fell apart. That was on
the play that goes wrong.
Yeah.
What? Oh my God, that was brilliant. That kind of stuff. I want to do that because that's hilarious. Now, I love good drama, but comedy is everything, you know?
Yeah. Oh my God, I love that because I think that a lot of people, especially outside of New York, and people who haven't seen you on stage, are going to get to meet you now that you're a series regular in P-Valley. And I mean this like as the utmost like compliment, but Patrice is so terrifying.
And also funny in a weird way.
Yeah.
Katori has given us, the writer's room and Katori, they gave us some really great lines. Okay, Uncle Clifford gets the best lines, but Patrice has a few zingers that are good. What I love the best about Patrice and how she's resonating is that I received that, what you just said, everybody hates her. And I think Katori said, she said, I wanted you to dislike her, but I also want you to understand where she's coming from. I literally want to do a thing where I read like the fans, like mean tweets or like what they say on their reviews. Honey, she would eat concrete if it was me. I would have punched her dead in the face. I'm like, what? And so I'll comment sometimes and they get a kick out of that. Listen, honey, Patrice is no joke. I was doing a show, the audition came, and I just really couldn't focus the very first time it came through because I don't know, was I doing Nina Simone? I don't know. But whatever part I was doing, I just couldn't do it. So I was doing another Marcus Gardley's plays, A Wonder in My Soul, at Baltimore Center Stage. And it came around again. I said, oh, you better pull this together. So we got it together. My castmates helped me audition and stuff like that. Then I got the call to come to New York, audition. Then I went back and they were like, nope, got to come back, call back. And I was like, oh, this is serious. So I really, really had to learn the lines, honey. And came to the callback. It was very emotional. I felt, again, the ancestors were there with me. It was something like I've never felt before. Like I literally felt it all over. And in my mind, I was like, I think this is your part. And like I'll start to cry if I think about it too much, because that's how it felt in the moment. Katori got up and gave me a hug because I literally was overcome. And the fact that the song that I sang, they asked me to sing, was the same song I was singing in A Wonder in My Soul. I Know I've Been Changed. And I was like, oh my God. So, girl, it was the audition, the callback was the episode 1 in the parking lot with the Mercedes. And, yeah.
Oh my God, that scene.
Yeah. Patrice, I feel like all the roles that I played leading up to her, Princess P.I. in Amazing Grace, Dr. Nina Simone, Odessa, Makita were all forming me and shaping me to play Patrice. You know, my first series regular. So, yeah.
Yeah. Well, I'm sure did Katori see you at Baltimore Center Stage and that's how she knew to put the song in?
No. Do you not know Katori, when she first came to New York and we used to do her plays at the Lark? You know, and it was like she would do it and we come in as the actors and read and they give us a little, la-di-da to catch, for transportation and stuff like that. And I reminded her, I said, girl, remember when I was doing your plays back in the day? So no, there's no way she would have known because she was busy casting P-Valley and writing and creating that whole thing. So yeah, it was just, that's how it is sometimes. So when it's meant to be, you know? Yes.
So, like, speaking of Marcus and Katori and this, since well, I'm not gonna say how long you've been in the business. We're not rude, but I just want to ask, like, have you seen it change in terms of like the number of playwrights of color or Black playwrights that get produced, or like the style? Because there was all this conversation a couple years ago about how it's so experimental now. Black playwrights are experimenting with the form. Like, have you noticed that?
Of course. I mean, more doors are opening, but still not enough. I mean, everybody should be able to do the play. Everybody should reproduce. I mean, there should be just so many different varieties on Broadway of color, Black, white, everybody. I don't understand why it's always a thing, you know, oh, we're going to have the Black play, we're going to have this play. I just think, yeah, it's, especially, but what's happening is a lot of our writers, our theater writers, are moving towards television because there is more opportunity, and this is a problem because they're not going to want to do this theater and not probably make as much money, or just have to fight about casting or fight about this. I think our whole We See You movement is opening some eyes to that, and just like, wow, how people have been, you know, acting and treating people that they didn't realize. So yeah, definitely there is a change, but always we could use more openness, more opportunity. Yeah, more.
Since you live between both worlds of stage and television, I wonder what from the stage that you love would you bring to TV, and what from TV that you love would you bring to theater?
From stage to the TV, I think it's the discipline. I think that is the key for me. This is how I live my life in terms of body, in terms of voice, in terms of how I prepare. And I think that helps with the amount of time that you have to spend setting up a shot, and that so that you're always ready every time they say action. I think of it, that's always the take. So like for me, you know, that's that 8 shows a week. Every time is the take. The last episode that you saw, I specifically did not want to pre-record. I wanted to be in the moment. I said, no, even if she's tired, if we do it for the 12th take and that's her voice, I'm saying that's her truth in that moment. Because it wasn't going to work if I'm trying to sing to a track and I'm trying to take you through this emotion and give you the history of Patrice and P-Valley. It's such an emotional episode. From television to film, I think really focusing on that internal, not judging, just being in that moment so truthfully, and just so what I want to say, just real, and not judging. There's a little more freedom in that, maybe not as much as like, because you have to be in a specific spot or like land on your mark, but just it was more freedom, even more freedom from television to that. Yeah. I mean, it's the same work. It's the same work in times how you have to prepare, how you have to do your background, create a background for your character, create a book, you know, all that kind of stuff. So yeah. That's a good question. That's a great question.
And I could ask you questions for like all of eternity, but we're very mindful of your time, and we already over what we said we were gonna.
Oh, did we? I'm having such a good time. You guys are great. You have such great questions. And it's good.
Wait, so can we? Oh my God! So can we keep you here until like 4 o'clock? Just kidding.
Wait, I was listening because I was doing my research, and you guys, there was one podcast where of course you got to do your research to find out who you're talking to. There was one you guys started talking about the male anatomy. Oh no, I turned that up. It was one podcast. I was like, ooh, this show, what are they doing?
Sometimes people like that, and other times we get people writing and saying that's offensive. So thank you.
No, I loved it. I was like, ooh.
It's human nature. We should all talk about sex all along and curse.
Because that's how you do. Yeah. When you have conversation, it goes everywhere. You know, and something connects to this, something connects to that, and you just keep doing it. Yeah, I loved it.
Well, you are fabulous. And right now, please plug everything you have going on right now. Like if you want to talk about obviously the play and P-Valley, if you have any shows that are streaming, if you have everything that you want people to see you in right now, because we have a lot of free time on our hands.
Oh, let's see. Well, no, basically we're just watching P-Valley. I do have a piece that is, we're putting another theatrical piece based on the slave narratives that my friend Dr. Melanie Joseph is putting together. I have to learn my lines though. I've been so crazy, I haven't had a chance to learn it. And she asked us to choose different pieces from the slave narratives that are in the Library of Congress, and so specific ones, and then we're going to film it, and she's going to put it together as an educational piece for schools. And I also told her, well, I have my own one-woman piece on the slave narratives. My Soul Looks Back in Wonder, which actually Marcus Gardley directed back in the day. So I'm feeling like I have time. I want to go back and investigate the piece and add some visuals and things like that. And maybe do it. Maybe I should film it, and then it can also be done as an educational piece for, Black History Month or whenever. Other than that, trying to put my apartment back together since I've been away for so long. And looking forward to season 2, you guys. We got season 2 with P-Valley. Thank you, 10 episodes, and looking forward to the finished product of Finish the Fight. I really cannot wait to see what they've done with it, the editing and Whitney's direction. It's just wonderful. I was very honored to be asked to do that for the New York Times. I mean, just honored. It was so funny when we read the script, and I got to the part where I said Dr. McLeod's name, like literally I welled up because I felt like she was like, thank you for telling my story. Thank you. And I was like, I'm very connected like that. I know. I don't know if people understand that, but you can't. I don't think you can navigate and not be connected to your history, to your ancestors. Just no way,
Amen.
Amen.
Mm-hmm.
You are a gift to all of us, and I love you so much. Like, I want to break the.
We're buddies. We're best.
Rules and
we're staying in touch. We're staying in touch. Yes. Yeah.
Oh my God. It's like I couldn't get into House That Would Not Stand, and every time Jose tells me about it, I'm just like, why?
And I don't think we filmed it. We did make an archival thing, but I don't think we did it because when you're off Broadway, you don't do that for Lincoln Center, I don't think. I'm sorry. Oh, and
that's
we couldn't
wait for the movie. Yeah, I know. I was like, wait, I don't have time. That's the thing about theater. It's like people tell you about these amazing plays, and then when people find out it's amazing, it's already sold out.
Sold out. You can't even get in. Done. Mm-hmm. Yeah, that was a good time, you guys. That was a good time. I love that space as well, But I definitely want to do her again. I want to do her again.
Fingers crossed.
Yeah, crossing fingers. You'll be in the movie. Is it official that you're in the? I mean, have you?
I don't know anything about. I have no idea.
Oh.
I don't know. If I get a call, I will be like, yes, I will let you know first. Okay, second after my mother.
I cannot wait. Thank you so much for joining us. It was a true pleasure. Like, you brightened our quarantine.
Oh, thank you, darlings. Thank you for having me, and you have a blessed day and a fun day.
You too.
And something good to eat, honey.
Thank you so much, Harriet. It was a pleasure talking to you.
And now it's your favorite time of the podcast where we try to talk you into giving us money. Go, Jose.
Well, as you heard, Deep has now been officially laid off. Broadway.com's loss. And I'm unemployed also, and we love doing this show so much, but we don't really make money off of it, and we have to pay for food, rent, insane Con Ed bills, and internet, and all the stuff that we adults have to do in order to stay alive. And we have a Patreon, and we really appreciate if you are able to become a contributor, because this is for all of you. And we keep getting, people who want us to do more and who pitch us stories, and audience members who want us to go talk to someone they love. And we would love to do that so much, but we can't if we have to be figuring out side hustles and if we have to be freelancing. If we didn't, we would be doing this 24/7. But we love it so much that we do it even if, we're definitely not paying our rent from this anytime soon. So if you are able to become a patron, we have 3 different levels starting at $1, and then $5, and then $10. And everyone gets the exact same benefits. Like, it's basically more of us. We put out a newsletter every week with extra bonus cuties, things that we don't get to do here. Like, we mention the things that we are reading, listening to, watching, like what we're supporting. You can read recipes of the many cakes that Crazy Deep bakes in the summer when it's 100 degrees. And we have extra also Q&As with the guests that we had that week. So sign up. I mean, I do believe it's worth it. Obviously, I'm biased, but I do believe it's worth it.
I think so. And also, you're not just supporting the podcast. You know, we put this podcast on YouTube, and so we list the name of our patrons there, and we put it there so that people can watch it if you're into that. We also have the website, tokentheaterfriends.com, where we cover what's happening in theater and entertainment and interview people, because just because this is a pandemic doesn't mean artists have stopped making work. And we've been honored by all the people that we've talked to who've said yes to our calls, and we're honored to be able to amplify what it is that they're doing. And we hope that you support journalism right now, which is also going through its own kind of clusterfuck. So support independent publishers like Token Theater Friends.
Yeah, don't make me pull a card for the future of journalism, because I don't want my deck to catch fire.
Yeah, also, we can't monetize that. All right. Thank you all for listening and watching. And you can find links to things that we talked about on tokentheaterfriends.com. And thank you to our guest for today. And anything else you want to say to the people?
Go have fun and go visit Madame Daphne, and don't go to gospel or like outside shows, and wear masks.
Yeah. If you really want to go see a show, you know, tip the actors afterwards.
Oh, yes. Get them health insurance if you can.
Yeah. All right. Bye.